For those of you who may not be familiar with the Convention of States, I'd like to share very briefly what we're all about, and if after we wrap up here pretty quickly, we have a table over here at which we will be happy to give you more information, talk with you, and if you agree with what we're about, we would love for you to sign our petition indicating that you are a supporter of this effort. Those petitions will be given, if you are a resident of this legislative district, will be given to these good people. And that is really an effort to show them and convince them that we, the people, are really behind this. Very quickly, our founders gave us, as has been stated, an amazing constitution, balance of power that focused on we the people. As has been stated, that has been changed drastically, that balance of power and so on. Well, the founders, in their wisdom, provided Article 5 of the Constitution, which has been alluded to here by the speakers, to, if circumstances would arise where the people feel that a change is needed, or that those functions of government have strayed from what the founders intended, that there is a mechanism for the people through their state legislatures to amend the Constitution and reestablish that balance of power. That's Article 5. And it allows for two methods of changing or amending the Constitution, not rewriting it, but amending it. One is Congress, the federal Congress, can propose and pass, actually not pass, but agree within the Congress on amendments to the Constitution. Those amendments have to be ratified by 3/4 of the states, 38 states in our current number of 50. The other method, which has never been used, but is extremely powerful, and it allows the states to do the same thing. If 34 states agree that a convention should be called to propose amendments to the Constitution to reestablish those proper boundaries, etc., or whatever we need for the current day, they can call a convention. They do not need the permission of Congress to do that. That is part of the Constitution already. If 34 states agree, a convention will be called. Each state will send one or more delegates to the convention. They will propose and debate amendments to the Constitution to hopefully reestablish the proper balance of power. And our particular resolution that we would like to see would fall into three general areas. These are not the amendments themselves, but simply the topics. First is to impose fiscal restraint on the federal government. As has been stated, we're $22 trillion in debt, and if you count unfunded liabilities, I think it's about $160 trillion. That's an astronomical figure. And it's getting worse every year. The second area would be to establish term limits on all federal officials, including the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court now have lifetime appointments. That originally was intended to prevent them or to protect them from the whims of the political parties, and etc. Unfortunately, it's not functioned quite that way. And so that's one of the things that we would like to see. And that would be to reestablish citizen legislators, people that go serve several terms and then go back. What we have now is people who make a career out of legislating. The third area would be to reduce the authority and jurisdiction of the federal government back to what the original founders intended. The original Constitution, and for that matter it is still there, it's not been changed, we're just not living under it correctly. The federal government was given about 5 powers, and they all made sense. 1, defense of our nation, that the individual colonies could not do themselves, but together they could. 2nd, to establish a common currency system. Again, that makes sense. 3rd, to establish a postal system. Again, that makes sense. To regulate interstate commerce so that when one state has a problem with another state regarding whatever it might be, the federal government could be resolve that. All of those things made perfect sense at the time, and the Constitution describes these as specific, limited, and enumerated powers. Today, the federal government can do virtually anything that it wants to, anything that Congress can approve. And that has come about by misinterpretations by the Supreme Court of what the Constitution says and means. What the Convention of States is all about is attempting to get 34 states, that's 2/3, to agree to call a convention such as that. If and when those 34 states approve, the convention will be called, they will debate and propose amendments. Those amendments will go to the states for ratification, just as if they had come from Congress, and 38 states are needed to ratify them. If they are ratified by 38 states, they become part of the Constitution. This process allows the people, we the people, through our state legislatures, to have a say in how our government is structured. That's what we're about. This process goes around Congress, which is part of the problem, unfortunately. So, thank you for patience and listening. If you'd like to know more and would like to make your voice heard, indicating that you're a supporter, please come to the table, find out more information, sign our petition. Thank you and God bless you.